Ladies and gentlemen, the star of Politically Incorrect, Bill Maher.
Okay, thank you very much. Let us meet our panel. He's the Senior Vice President of Promise Vision as a spokesperson for, quote, straight from the heart. He spends his days, quote, monitoring the homosexual agenda in America. Bill Horn. Bill, where are you? How are you, Bill? Good to see you again. She is the beautiful co-host of E! News Daily on E! Entertainment weekdays at 6:30. Jules Asner. Jules, there you are. Hey, you. How you doing?
I'm great.
Thank you. She's a swell actress, investigative journalist, and the author of Model Patient, My Life as an Incurable Wise Ass. Karen Duffy. Karen. Hey, let me get you here. Thank you. And the front man for the huge supergroup Culture Club, his new solo CD, very good one, is the unrecoupable one-man bandit, Boy George. Yeah. Mr. George, how are you? Okay. All right. So, I was listening to your record today. I'm happy to say it's a good one. Because I wouldn't if it wasn't.
That's a relief.
But it really is. It's because, you know, sometimes people, you don't hear them for a while, and then they go away and they have a whole new style, which sucks, but he's still good. Okay.
You must have relieved.
But I listen, now, G.I. Josephine is the first cut. You have a song called She Was Never He. There's another one. I don't know the title, but the chorus is...
it's an educational record.
There's another one where the chorus is something like, if I was in love with you, I'd be a lucky bitch. I'm beginning to think you're half a fed. I gotta tell you. And I bring this up because over here in America, we've had a big controversy about the Boy Scouts. I don't know if you know this, but...
It's been going on in England as well, yeah.
Really? You have the same controversy?
Well, there's been news coverage of it, yeah.
Oh, okay. So our Supreme Court basically said a few months ago that the Boy Scouts are a private organization and they can exclude gays, which is what they've wanted to do for a long time. They earned that right from the Supreme Court. But now they're running into trouble because other groups, like schools, are saying, you know what, it's our right to exclude you Boy Scouts from doing what you do on our public property because we don't want to be part of an organization that excludes people.
So they discriminate against the Boy Scouts, is what they're doing.
Well, why is that discrimination?
What is discrimination?
Well, actually...
Well, they're discriminating against the Boy Scouts because, for one, and I've said this on this program before, homosexuals, in my opinion, are the most intolerant people in America. If you don't agree with them, not do they just go after you, they go after you financially. And that's exactly what they're doing to Boy Scouts. Go start the Gay Scouts if you want to have the Scouts, and you'll have plenty of money because you have a tremendous amount of organizations who are taking their money from the Boy Scouts, who have helped hundreds of thousands, if not millions of boys in America, and now homosexuals are trying to take money away from them, and I don't think it's right.
Sexual paranoia.
Yeah. But if I don't approve of the way a business treats, you know, gay employees, or they're not for same-sex marriages, I really wouldn't give my business to a company. So how is it different?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've actually been on your side a little bit on this, because I believe
it's a private organization. They have the right to set standards.
If a private organization was racist or anti-Semitic, you wouldn't sit here and say that was okay. So it works in both ways. You can't say that. Just because you're a private organization, it doesn't allow you to discriminate against anybody.
Because somebody wants to set standards. And you know what? Many parents in America know what the Boy Scouts stand for, and they continue to
Boy Scout.
Did you know what
they stood for? It didn't make me straight, so... I was in the Boy Scouts when I was a kid. And, you know, when you're a kid, you know, being in the Boy Scouts, you don't think about whether people are gay or straight. You're busy putting up tents and learning to cook sausages. It's like, what you're doing is you're forcing your own sexual paranoia onto children, and it's really unnecessary.
How would you have felt having a gay, you know, boy master, scout master?
I think it's really about whether you're good at your job. You know, if you're a heterosexual male, you know, you're not stopped from teaching young girls in case you might find them attractive or be a pervert. You know, it's whether you are good at your job And, you know, you shouldn't
Except
be
this
judged.
job involves going into the woods with young boys with shorts
And there are
on.
many cases, and listen, and there are
You
many
see,
cases where
what you're
there are
doing is
men
you're
who have
judging gay
molested
men
boys.
only on what they do sexually.
No, but here's
And
the
that's
problem.
your paranoia.
Here's the problem.
You are judging gay men by what they do in bed.
No.
And what you have to understand is I have nephews and nieces. Should I also be kept away from them in case I influence them? It's ridiculous.
It's their choice.
We have extended families. Gay people have extended families.
So what do you
we
do
mix
with
with
all the
children.
Scout-
It's
and there-
paranoia. Relax.
Well, let me...
Mr. Horn, how about
Relax.
this? Okay. Say you're a parent and you don't want your child to be a part of the Boy Scouts because there's a gay Boy Scout leader. What are you going to do? So then, well, you know what? We want you to spend more time in church with the priest, be an altar boy.
The point is that they have the choice. Parents have the choice. If they want to send their kids to be Boy Scouts and they believe in the standards that they set, then let them send their kids to be Boy Scouts. But why do homosexuals are intolerant if you don't agree with them?
I think you
why
sound
can't they
very
just
intolerant.
start-
I don't feel like I'm being intolerant.
Why am I intolerant?
Well, you are,
Because he said you are.
but I also think you have a point.
What's his
You have
point?
a point. Oh, are you kidding? I mean, gays are
Absolutely.
the...
Go on.
They are
What's
the
his point?
first one... What?
What's his point?
Well, the point is that they are intolerant, too, and I think that's true. They want their agenda, and nobody can talk to them. They are the first ones to scream.
Who, homosexuals?
Yes.
You're
if there's-
labeled a hate monger, a bigot. Why? Because you don't agree with the agenda? Again, go start the Gay Scouts. You won't have hardly any kids in the Gay Scouts. You'll have plenty of money because you'll force organizations to give you money.
I mean,
But it's like saying if you give a child a Bible that it's naturally to become religious. It doesn't work like that.
No.
Kids don't become gay by association. People are born gay. They don't decide to be gay.
There's absolutely no empirical evidence to prove that homosexuals are born that way.
Of course there is.
I would
There's
think
no-
his opinion more than yours. I think I'd listen
I have to say that
Okay.
on that subject I am a bit of an expert.
Let's take this argument. Let's talk about NAMBLA, North American Man-Boy Love Association, pedophiles who will tell you...
Well, there's a difference between a pedophile and a homosexual. There's a
They'll
huge
tell you
difference.
that we're born this way. We can't help it. We're attracted to little boys. So you need to be...
That's
But that's
entirely
a different thing than
That's
homosexuality.
an entirely different thing.
That is an entirely different thing.
I mean,
Not if you're
yeah,
born
That's
that
like-
way.
Well,
If you're
you're a
born that way.
heterosexual, I assume.
Well, you might be born
It's like me assuming that you want to have sex with little girls. That's as...
No. I don't have... There's not an there's an organization called NAMBLA, North American
Yes.
Man-Boy Love Association.
Man-boy.
Whose motto is sex before 8 or it's too late. And
But
they
you
will
are
tell
linking them
just a
with
second.
homosexuality.
No, that's what they do.
There
But
are-
here's their argument.
Lots of pedophiles are
We're born this way.
heterosexual. You know, that's a
Exactly.
It doesn't
ridiculous
matter
statement.
if you're heterosexual or homosexual. If you say, look, I'm born this way, I can't help it, I'm attracted to little boys or little girls, God created me this way, so you need to be
No, we have
tolerant of
laws.
my
We have
behavior.
laws that protect children from sexual molestation. We have laws that
Yes.
stop them.
I
Most
understand that.
most normal people, and I use that word very broadly, don't go out and have sex with children who are underage.
So you oppose
whether
NAMBLA.
they're gay, straight, or
So
otherwise.
you oppose the organization NAMBLA, who's allowed to march in the gay and lesbian parades and because of tolerance. So you're opposed to NAMBLA?
I live in a society that has an age of consent, and I accept the age of consent, and I support that. I don't support paedophilia, and it's a very
you
different
oppose
thing.
NAMBLA.
Absolutely.
Right, good.
It's a very different thing. Homosexuality and paedophilia are
Yes,
not
exactly.
the same thing.
How many gay
To
friends
try to
do you
link
have?
those two is a cheap shot.
Yeah,
Go
how
ahead.
many gay friends do you have?
I don't know, because I don't
Yeah,
go
you're
into
not making
into
many.
the bedroom.
All right, I got to make a little money. We'll be right back. Hold on. Interesting. New polls out today show a slight preference for Bush over Gore. I don't put any stock in them because most of the people thought they were being asked about R-rated movies. So,
Politically Incorrect with Bill Maher, brought to you by Honda Accord.
Trouble? It's Miller from Risk Management. He's in distress.
Miller. Monty, what's our capacity?
Well, headroom 38.5 inches, legroom 42.1 inches, and of course shoulder room.
Mister, I need hip room.
Front seat or rear seat?
Rear seat.
A full 54.1 inches, sir.
That's more than enough. Got room for one more? Climb aboard, Miller.
It's easy to get carried away. The Accord from Honda.
What it is. what it feels like. What it is. What it feels like. What it is. We know what social anxiety can feel like, and Paxil can help. Over 10 million people suffer from overwhelming anxiety that significantly impairs work or social life, and a chemical imbalance could be to blame. Paxil, the only medication proven effective for social anxiety disorder, works to correct this imbalance. Paxil is not for everyone. Tell your doctor what medicines you're taking. People taking MAOI should not take Paxil. Paxil side effects may include decreased appetite, dry mouth, sweating, nausea, constipation, sexual side effects in men and women, yawn, tremor, or sleepiness. With time, your doctor's help, and Paxil, life can feel like life again. Paxil, your life is waiting.
In the very first minute of the season premiere comes a surprise that we just can't show you. And it's just the beginning of a whole new year of surprises. Once and Again season premiere Tuesday, 10/9 Central on ABC.
Everyone knows Jeopardy is a great way to obtain knowledge. Just like your local news, Jeopardy is your daily dose of information. So join us, won't you? Hey, it's not just a game, it's Jeopardy. Tomorrow night at 7 on ABC 7.
Fresh baked bread, a sandwich's best friend.
He's out there with Subway's 3 new gourmet breads, like Parmesan oregano and hearty Italian with cornmeal. Fresh baked breads with savory seasonings that are giving Subway sandwiches a delicious new taste. Subway, eat fresh.
There are thousands of overdue public works projects to fix our roads, earthquake retrofit our highways, and reduce traffic. Caltrans cannot get the job done alone. Proposition 35 will give state and local governments the flexibility to use private sector architects and engineers, using the same competitive selection process we've always used. It's a common sense way to finish projects on time and on budget. Haven't we waited long enough? Vote yes on 35.
President Clinton today signed into law a new bill that lowers the drunk driving standard to 0.08%, pretty low, in all states. Clinton said he'd like to keep more drinkers off of our highways. He also mentioned, I don't know what this means, but he said it's good anytime you can get a drunk chick to blow into something. So all right, speaking of President Clinton, the new Penthouse is out today. Paula Jones is in here, and I'm going to show that. You don't even want to see this. Believe me, you don't. I'm covering her nipple.
The horror.
Right. There has been no greater defender of President Clinton about his personal life than I have. After seeing these pictures, I think he should be impeached. I just want to say, I don't care if there's only 90 days. This guy has got to go for wanting this chick. And I bring this up because in the last 2 weeks, a couple of people have stepped down from positions in, well, what we would call right-wing or Christian-oriented family-focused groups. Mike Trout, he is one of the top official in Focus on the Family. You know this group. He just had, quote, this is his quote, an inappropriate relationship with a woman other than his wife, which sounds nicer.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, well, it sounds very Clinton-esque, that phrase.
Also,
yeah.
He didn't step down because he had an inappropriate relationship. He stepped down because he got busted having an inappropriate relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
And
look, when you said Clinton-esque, there's a big difference between Bill Clinton and what Mike Trout did. If he resigned because of his behavior, I think that's the right thing to do. But here's the difference between him and Bill Clinton.
I know, he lied.
No.
I know he lied under oath.
No, that's not it. Here's the difference, is because Bill Clinton, Dick Morris, his political advisor, right before the Democratic National Convention, was caught with a prostitute. He didn't ask Dick Morris if he wanted to resign. He told Dick Morris to resign. And then here's the President of the United States doing the exact same thing his political advisor is doing. I think you're being hypocritical when you tell your top advisor he has to resign over this affair, while here he's doing the same thing in the Oval Office.
Well, first of all, he wasn't his top advisor. He wasn't.
Sure he was.
He was
Triangulation. Dick Morris was the one who got him reelected.
The country would not be equally upset if an advisor resigned or the president resigned.
The point is that Clinton is a hypocrite when he's telling his political advisor resign because of this extramarital affair, and then here he's. You think that's silly? I think it's being a hypocrite.
Well, speaking of hypocrites, how come so many of these people who are supposedly the family people get caught? There was another one, the guy who's trying most ridiculously to get Clinton disbarred. I talked about him last week. His name is Matthew Glavin, and a correction. I said he was caught masturbating in the park. He was not. He was caught grabbing an undercover cop's genitals. And you think it's tough to get out of a speeding ticket.
How far did this undercover cop have to go to be in that position to be?
Well, he was in the gay cruising area of the park, so probably not that far. But why do you think so many of these people, I mean, Jimmy Swaggart, Jim Baker, Henry Hyde, Strom Thurmond was caught cheating on his slave. Why do so many of these people get caught? Why?
Because people make mistakes and people are human. And when you're supposed to be setting a standard or being a role model, and that's what Mike Trout was to a lot of people, he made a mistake, and you know what? He was man enough to resign.
It's because they're pervs to begin with, and they try to cover it up by becoming Christians, Republicans. Those are 12-step programs for these people.
If someone is held up to a standard of family values, certainly it's much more compelling, and we certainly want to see that guy fall. When you never believe someone, they say, oh, I never lie.
I know, but when they go to the park and grab a cop's balls, I mean, you know, it's not us who's causing that.
I know, but I mean, we're definitely getting some satisfaction seeing
that kind of high-handed morality often creates the very thing that it's trying to get rid of. You know, when you obsess about something to that point, you know, no one having sex and everything being perfect, then I think you make it worse.
It is.
Well, look, I don't think there's anything wrong with setting the standard higher, and people try to live by, you know, what's wrong with trying to making a commitment to your wife and honoring that commitment and trying to live by that standard? Or, you know, look, if you want to make a commitment to, and this is, you know, if you want to make a commitment to another man and live happily ever after, fine, you do that. But look, Al Gore, who
you don't approve of it, though, do you?
No, if that's your choice. If that's what you want to do, I'm not going to redefine marriage. And Al Gore, and it's interesting that he says, I'm against discrimination, and then you ask him, do you support gay marriages? Well, no. Oh, so you would discriminate against two men being married?
But if he said he did, he wouldn't get votes. So he's playing along. He has to be careful. If he says, you know, oh, I agree with gay people getting married, then half of America's probably not going to vote for him. So he has to wait till he gets in.
Say what you believe.
Well, you say what you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So I think that he's probably doing the right thing.
Say what you believe. But here's the problem I have. Again,
you're going to have to hold out. We have to take a break. We'll be right back.
Join us this week on Politically Incorrect when Bill's guests will include comedian Carrot Top, opera singer Charlotte Church, WCW champion Kevin Nash, and former White House press secretary Joe Lockhart.
They hide in the shadows, under bridges, and in the alleys. Some people call them throwaways. Can you imagine how it must feel when your own parents don't want you? When I took over Crossroads, it was a shelter for teens, and it was pretty run down. So we started a project to rebuild, to make it a real home for the kids. Trouble was, we ran short of money before we could even get the roof up. I didn't know where to turn. That's when I called the Philip Morris companies, and they sent us a Christmas present. It covered everything.
The Philip Morris companies know there are many people in jeopardy. That's why over the last 4 decades, we've contributed hundreds of millions of dollars to programs that can make a difference in someone's life.
Now the kids take pride in their home. Philip Morris didn't forget about us either. Whenever we've needed support, they've come through. They've helped me turn a homeless teen shelter into a home.
Working to make a difference. The people of Philip Morris.
Let's hear it for the lady. The one whose work is never done. Without you, none of us would even be here. Here's to you, Mom, from a car with the right stuff to get you through it all. Chevy Malibu, the car you depend on every day. Just like you, we'll be there.
Will it be 10 for Tiger? Tiger Woods goes for his 10th win of the season at the National Car Rental Classic at Walt Disney World, Sunday on ABC.
Whether you're at home conquering the world, venturing out into it, or just taking a break from it, there's a whole new way to stay connected to it. Because Verizon is giving its local customers who sign up for select digital wireless plans free internet access at home and on their wireless phones until Memorial Day 2001. It's the internet how, where, and when you want it. Call Verizon now to find out how you can get it all. Then consider it done.
Part Street Fighter, part Jet Fighter. The new 210 horsepower, supercharged Nissan Frontier.
We'd love to see you smile.
At McDonald's, we know value is about more than just great prices. It's also about great food and having a great time. Hey, anything for a smile.
We've always been your place for outrageous value, so our original hamburgers are still just 29 cents each every Wednesday, our cheeseburgers are 39 cents each every Sunday, and 6-piece Chicken McNuggets are only 89 cents every Tuesday.
We love to see you smile.
McDonald's, your only place for outrageous values.
The General Motors Corporation now, because they own DirecTV satellite service, now sells more X-rated films than Larry Flint of Hustler. Which is ironic because Larry's new movie is called Four on the Floor. So I don't know. Okay. I mentioned in the other monologue joke that today's the day President Clinton signed the law that said drunk driving, .08 for the whole nation. I know binge drinking, I read recently in the paper, they've changed tactics. It's a huge problem on campus. College kids, about half of them, binge drink. I didn't do this when I was in college, but maybe I don't remember college. So they've changed tactics now. They used to have a lot of scare programs. They would have posters and movies, and apparently this made the kids want to do it more because kids see, oh, we're not supposed to do that. We got to do it or else we're... Okay, so now this is working. They're not actually doing anything and the kids are cutting down on the binge drinking. But my question is, how come drinking is not part of our war on drugs? Your show, your old show that is Wild On, which I must say I'm wildly fond of, is just 45 minutes of people just throwing liquor down from cleavage.
Jules,
and just...
how do you sleep at night knowing that you're a part of a production that is contributing to kids who are out there drinking and driving and binge drinking? How do you sleep at night?
How do I sleep at night? I sleep great every night.
I think if we have more gay scout leaders, the young boys wouldn't feel the need to be so aggressive and butch. So
That's the cutest way to get to it.
You know, our show doesn't, I don't think it glorifies drinking. I don't think it glamorizes it. We actually are just out doing... We're out documenting what kids are doing, and kids are drinking. I mean, nobody is ever underage on our show drinking, ever.
I know, but we're talking about the kids who are watching it.
No, we're on. I mean, no, but we don't come on until midnight. How many kids really stay up that late to watch?
I hope a lot. I hope plenty stay up till midnight. They should be up at midnight watching Channel 7.
How is it any different when we're asking Hollywood to clean up their act on violence? And I was reading USA Today, and now movies are coming out with less violence. How is it any different for the TV industry not to clean up their act with the alcohol and the type of things you show on your program?
It is just amazing the way, not just with liquor, it's sex too. I mean, we have all these programs against sex. Did you ever see in a movie when the man and the woman get together and they're so hot for each other and they finally do it? Did anybody ever pull out a condom at that moment? Did Michael Douglas pull out a condom when he was about to bang Glenn Close in the sink? I mean, nobody... I mean...
You do see it on TV shows now. They sometimes do it. They do, like, the slide condom, you know. They do the...
They do?
Yeah, I've seen that. I think there's an effort. Safe sex effort.
A very weak effort. And I'm just saying that what they do in the public service announcements really has a tremendous contrast to what is going on with things that kids really watch. And I'm sorry, but it does glorify drinking if you see these wild, exotic places and these kids are having fun, and a lot of stuff is pixelated, you know, chicks taking their tops off. And
but it's not kids, it's adults. It's not kids having the fun. Like, what do you do when you go on vacation? Actually, he goes to... Is there pixelation? Would there be pixelation involved?
No, do you cover spring break?
Yeah, we do cover spring break.
Now, you tell me that those are adults that are spring break? Those are college kids. And a lot of them are under the age of 21. A lot of college kids are 19, 20. They're young kids.
But actually, when we go to a place where people are drinking, there's doorman. It's just like going to any other club.
But doorman doesn't keep... You can't tell me that everyone that's on your program, that you go cart each one of them and find out...
No, we have... I think there was maybe once a problem in the past, which is why we always make sure everybody is of age. Am I carding people? No, I'm not carding people.
I'm just saying.
You are.
It's weird. I mean, you couldn't show anybody just lighting up a joint quietly and going in and watching the Cartoon Network all by themselves. And yet you see these people throwing their tops off, and it looks like everyone who's drinking is going to wind up in a threesome with sorority chicks who have pierced tongues.
Look what they've done.
And apparently the crowd is for that.
Look at what they've done to the tobacco industry. You know, look what they've done with the advertising in the tobacco industry. Can't even advertise tobacco. Well, here's a program that's glorifying something that's just as bad.
But it's not their fault. It's the society's fault. It's the government's fault. It's because the government is bribed by the liquor industry. Because they pay off. It's campaign finance reform is the root of the problem. Okay, I got to take another commercial. We'll be right back.
As soon as he hit 30, Dad started losing his hair.
I had it when I needed it.
So I knew it could be in the cards for me. And at the first sign of fallout, I checked it out with a dermatologist. And he said Rogaine every day, right at the source of the problem. I've used Rogaine for 2 years now, and I don't see any difference. And that's the idea. You keep the hair you have.
Rogaine. Recommended more by dermatologists than any other treatment.
It's stronger than heredity.
Sometimes you have trouble sleeping because you can't stop thinking about the tensions of the day. Try new Aluna Sleep. It's not a drug. Aluna promotes a natural sleep pattern in just a few nights. New Aluna. It doesn't make you sleep. It lets you sleep.
Tuesday, one van, 8 of Dharma's freaky friends, and a lawyer in a safari vest. Greg's ready for the road trip of doom.
I brought Travel Scrabble.
Yeah, he's ready. Instant mom Gina Davis has a lot to learn.
You don't even know what sport I play. Two, you're a fisherman. You're on the fishing team.
Great comedy, Tuesday on ABC.
On Broadway, it won 6 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. Then it went on to become London's undisputed box office champion. Now, The Lion King has roared into Los Angeles for a special limited engagement at the Pantages Theater. A new block of tickets is now on sale, and the critics advise, wow, grab any seat you can get. Call Ticketmaster now for The Lion King.
2 governors agree on Prop 39.
Prop 39's strict accountability will create citizen oversight committees with the power to stop wasteful spending. Passing 39 caps the amount property taxes can be raised by a local school bond.
Reducing class size helps kids learn. That means we need new classrooms. 39 ensures school bond funds are spent only to build or repair classrooms, not for bureaucracy or administration.
2 governors, 1 conclusion. Yes on 39.
Steve Kuykendall's a local guy. He understands the issues that the local South Bay cities are dealing with.
He comes to our local events. He always has time to talk to his constituents here.
While I was talking to him, Steve gets on the phone, talks to the staff in Washington, and puts in motion an answer to our problem.
Jane Harman cannot do for the South Bay what Steve Kuykendall has been able to do.
Kuykendall, Congress, on the job for the South Bay.
All right, Karen Nuffy, an incurable wise-ass Boy George, an unrecoupable one-man bandit. They're detectives. Tomorrow, Carrot Top, Terry Farrell, Hill Harper, and Maggie Gallagher.
Look, when news breaks, see it first on ABC7 Eyewitness News this morning. Local.
Breaking news right now at 6:58, where we are anticipating a major announcement.
We've done it. We've reached an agreement with the bus driver union.
International.
We were the first to tell you about it at 5 a.m. The apparent suicide ramming of the USS Cole.
Live.
We have breaking news right now out of the Middle East.
Live from Egypt with more information for us this morning.
Here at home and far away, #1 in breaking news. Watch ABC7 Eyewitness News this morning from 5 to 7 a.m.
Pick
It's
one of the
number 3, isn't it?
What do you expect from Howard today?
Rudeness, impersonal questions, I don't know, the usual.
Boy George is here. Always love seeing him. Let's bring him in. Boy George, of course, very famous dude. There he is. There's Boy George.
Wow.
How you doing, Boy George? Very outspoken. He knows what he's doing. I told you, I read that quote from you in some book where you said, what's with all these religious right